Hi there, everyone. My name is Helenique Arjuru, and I'm very inspired to talk to you today after a very interesting time in the world now, April 2016. Many different things have been happening and still continue to happen in the world around us. There are some very disturbing realities out there in our world and in the way our world runs. And so, more than ever, it's time for us to truly wake up. That's my message to you today. And I want to give you a few tips, 7 things that I think are really helpful at this time. And this is coming specifically because of the Art of Love series that I've been following with many experts around the world talking to us about how to build better relationships. We are in a time where relationships are really struggling. And of course, this means we need to wake up and we need to get much clearer about what we really deeply believe to be true about relationships. And we need to review all of that. This past conditioning that we've had in past generations is very different to the kind of life that we now live, and very different to the kind of consciousness and awakening that we need in this era to actually create loving and lasting relationships. So there's a few tips here that I think are really useful. The first one is that we do need to learn to deal with the past and make peace with the past. So past relationships, past hurt, past heartbreak, and also all the myths and conditioning that you have from your past about relationships. This is really important to start to deal with. The whole idea of what other people think of you and the idea about the way you want to be thought of, this is another area that we need to look at and work on in our lives. We need to become a lot more authentic and original, genuine about who and what we really are, what we really feel, and negotiate these feelings, obviously, in our relationships. But to be aware of falling prey to this need of our ego to look good and to also be what the other person wants you to be. You need to be both what you truly are and understanding and compassionate for what the other person needs, but not just be concerned about how you're coming across and what other people think about you. Also, try to remember that no one is in charge, and you are not in charge, so others are not in charge. But the tension in this is that actually we have to have our own authority. We have to own our own issues, our needs, our difficulties. We have to take ownership for what we truly carry inside of us and be responsible for that. But to also know that we do not make up the rules and we are not necessarily the ones who decide. And this can be very difficult, especially when you tap into things that you feel are a sense of tuning in to the environment or to others. If you are a highly sensitive person, this can become very challenging because you might be somebody that then is tuning into the needs of others and the environment, and you're picking up all kinds of invisible vibrations and frequencies around you that might make it very difficult for you to step back enough and to take some distance between you and what's happening. And then you might feel a sense of being responsible for others. And this might make you look like you think you're in charge. Be careful of this. It's dangerous and it's not true. Others have every right to be operating the way they operate. So if you're not a highly sensitive person and you're not tuned in and you're not really noticing what's going on, you might also have a tendency to react to things in a way that you think you are actually allowed to, or that you should, or that perhaps you're right. And you need to also remember that this is not the case. Everybody has equal permission from the universe to be and do who they are and whatever they end up doing. Another thing to be aware of is these impurities of the mind. Many different references to them come to us in many different forms, but mainly I'm talking about jealousy and envy. And so this comes from comparing ourselves to others. So be careful of this in relationships where you are creating a kind of loving, intimate connection with somebody. It's quite important to let that be what it is in and of itself. There's a lot of pressure in our world, a lot of social pressure, a lot of family pressure to be a certain example of someone in society that has certain things. And it's very difficult to manage that when you are struggling to create relationships. And a lot of women in their later years now, late 30s, 40s, are actually in a struggle to create intimate relationships in the world. Men have different struggle. I refer to women because I am one, and also because I know there is a ticking clock, which makes it particularly complex for women around this age. So this can be quite challenging because you might be in a community of women that are all themselves married and connected, and you need to be dealing with that without comparing yourself to them. Stop thinking too much is my next tip. So if you get into your head a lot, if you're spending time ruminating over a lot of things that have come to be or have not come to be, you want to just notice that you're doing that and try to accept that moment, accept the thought. Don't push it away or resist it too much in that first moment, and let the thought just sort of drift off, saying that you accept it. And then just give yourself a gentle reminder that you don't want to spend that much time in your thoughts and in your mind about things. And my last tip is smile. It's been researched that this is the most attractive quality to a man and to other people in the world. Of course, when we come across as friendly and approachable, we actually send off certain endorphins into the brains of other people, and we all also have a chemical response in our own bodies. There's lots of more amazing tips that I'd like to share with you about all of this. So if you like, sign up and you will get the link for all the fantastic audios by Dr. Deepak Chopra and Marianne Williamson. There's some very good stuff by Dr. John Gray and many other experts. There are 200,000 women registered onto this Art of Love audio series, but you really only have 2 more days to sign up because the audios are only up for 24 hours, and I'll see what I can do after that with some other material. But for now, sign up soon so that you can actually get a chance to listen to this incredible audio. It's all complimentary, all free. So thank you for listening, and I hope you've enjoyed these helpful reminders of ways to be in the world in a more loving way. Thank you so much for your time. Bye.